That is insane. I like it. Oh, that looks good in the water. Well, got a new family member here at the Jones residence. Hello, buddy. He's still a little skittish around us all, but this is Okra, a giant bunny. He's gonna get to be like 20 pounds or something outrageous. This dude absolutely shreds through carrots. He eats carrots all day, every day, which I think is hilarious. What's happening, everybody? Chris Jones with the World's Worst Fishing coming back at you. It's new mold day, okay? That is always exciting. So we're gonna be running injection today. No hand pouring in this video because we are showing you the latest evolution of the Sweetgum mold, okay? It's this one right here. Sweetgum HD. So, this one's a little bigger, a little different, a different taper in the legs, and a little bit bigger diameter in the center. Yeah, I can't wait to get into this. Weighs about 5 pounds. So without too much more rambling, we're gonna get started. All right, let's take a look at our new toy, literally a cat toy. So, Sweetgum HD, and you can see some measurements there. 110 millimeters and 25 millimeters. This is the overall outside diameter, and this is the inside sphere diameter, okay? So for those of you that only speak in freedom numbers there, that is about 4.3 inches. Yes, 4.331 inches, and 25 millimeters comes out to be just under 1 inch. It's like 0.9 and change. So very big dimensions here, and they were kind enough to kind of put my logo engraved on the outside of the mold. I still have what amounts to the final working prototype. So really excited to have this. It's still the only one, I think, in existence right now. So let's get into it and take a look. All right, got the top off, and you can see right away it's a little bit different looking than the inside of the Sweetgum. We can see a very, very wide taper to the legs, okay? Let's just kind of look at that. All right. So this is more true, I think, to the original, what is it, full cast or koiki or whatever it's called. We have a little bit more aggressive of a leg taper, which gives each tentacle or appendage just a little bit more mass, all right? So a lot of people have a lot of feelings and you know, opinions on the taper of the legs of these things. So here is just another option to it. All right, we go a little bit deeper in the mold. You can see it's the same exact sort of layout and design as the Sweetgum. However, this one does not rotate and change the number of appendages. I don't know all the technical details, but something about how the legs were wider and offering this bigger taper, the math wouldn't work out for you to be able to twist it and get those extra appendages. So it is a single appendage count mold. Okay, so for those of you who are familiar with the 4-inch Sweetgum, the one that is already available to market, here is a compare and contrast difference of sort of the inside and the taper of the legs. Right? So there's the current 4-inch Sweetgum. Here's the Sweetgum HD. Right, you can see overall diameter, a little bit wider, right? There again, 4 inches versus 4.3. And you can definitely tell the legs are going to have a lot more mass, definitely wider legs. So that is sort of a look there at the difference in the layout of the mold. And we will, of course, shoot both of these to give you a side-by-side comparison of the actual bait itself. Okay, big cat toys means we need big time firm plastisol, okay? Red Label Hard from DOP, you guessed it. And Josh even recommends adding a little bit of hardener to the mix just for extra fun. So what he would recommend is, I believe, 3/4 of a cup he was measuring out, and 2 tablespoons of hardener is what he recommends to get, I think, just the best version of the bait itself. For our first run, we're not going to use any hardener because I don't have much here. So we're just going to get some Red Label hard in the molds to at least just show you how it shoots and give you that side-by-side comparison with the traditional 4-inch Sweetgum. Alright, so prior to filming this video, I was asked to make a sort of like a candy bug, right, color, which I know as sort of June bug purple. So we are breaking out a really special colorant, a discontinued colorant, June bug 125, to see if we can do what this gentleman was asking. Alright. Yeah, I got an Instagram DM. Hey, can you shoot that new Sweetgum mold you're going to be filming in a candy bug? And I haven't actually written him back yet, but I'm like, absolutely, we can do that. So green flake, lots of green flake. So we're essentially making June bug with purple. Now you can add black flake in there as well, but this is essentially what it is, or this is what I know candy bug to be. June bug purple. Yeah. Beautiful. Okay, here we go. Short and fast is how we want to shoot these, alright? Don't hold pressure and don't top them off. Just short and sweet. So shoot them fast and then get out of there. Sweetgum HD, here we go. First shot, drum roll please. Okay, let's see what we have. All right, I still open these things from the bottom. I know a lot of people don't, but this is how I roll, okay? All right, so bottom. Then here's piece 3. Oh yeah, wow. Look at how giant that is. Holy cow. Yeah, that 1-inch diameter in the center is massive. I cannot believe how big that is. Okay, looking good, y'all. Okay, we finally got all the parts apart. You just don't want to rush it. I think just with the middle sphere being so big, you definitely want to allow it time for that plastic to cool down and set up, because there's a lot of volume to this one, y'all. I mean, that is a very large center diameter, and just to drive that point home, I will show you the regular Sweetgum. Now, the regular Sweetgum did have a few different diameters. However, you will see the difference very, very clearly. Okay, and here is the 4-inch Sweetgum with the 3/4 inch diameter center ball, right? So you can see different looking baits there, but still looking great. Very cool. This one even looks a little darker for some reason. But yeah, there it is. Alright, first shots down in a single color. And I love how well they hold their form. And this is even without adding hardener. So you can see just the form of the mold, or the form of the bait, benefiting from those thicker appendages there. Now it is a 22 count appendage, right? So a little bit less than the Sweetgum, and there again, it is a single appendage mold, right? It does not change appendage numbers. All right, it is color shift time. We're gonna do some moon dust, because why not? Huge moon dust fan. All right, now what we need is the ceremonial drop of black. In this case, about 3 drops of black. Really want a strong backing. Oh my gosh. So this makes a very great sort of rainbow trout color just by itself, right? You got the green, gold, and pink all right there in one little cup. So yep, you can laminate that over like a white pearl and get yourself a nice little trout color. But for today, we want to see what it looks like in the Sweetgum HD. A little bit more black. I want this a little bit richer. You can just keep adding black until that color becomes even richer. The shift will become even stronger. Let's see how she does. Yeah, that was a little bit hotter of a shot there on that one. So we will see how that turns out. Just the temperature of the plastic was a little bit hotter, but can't hurt. All right, we got the perfect amount of laundry noise in the background. Oh, just look at that color shift on that center ball there. Wow, that's incredible. That is simply stunning. Okay. Wow, you guys. It really knows how to show color shift well. Just all the different angles you get just because it is spherical. That is incredible, you guys. All right, we're gonna yank the top off and get her on out. Yeah. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. There it is. Insane. That may be my favorite one of the day. I mean, yeah, we're obviously going to do a laminate at some point, but I mean, what do you even do with that? All right, more Red Label hard time. We're gonna try a laminate. Sort of a brown, green pumpkin and bright pink. Just trying to think of a laminate that will really, really pop in those appendages. Okay, so we've got a really brown green pumpkin. Now we're going to do our pink side. Okay, that's a little thin, definitely need more. Still a little thin, come on now. All right, and then we're gonna thicken that and brighten it with some white. This will also opaque the color a little bit. Yeah, need more though. Need more white. So yeah, just a really bright, well, one side's bright, but very contrasting colors here for this laminate, which might look pretty good. All right, here we go. Let's lock and load on this laminate color and see what we get. Here we go. We are going to hold a little bit of pressure this time just to make sure we're getting plastic going through that block. And sometimes blending blocks on that first shot, you never know with this super thick plastic if you're really getting a good push. Now, you know, most of the time on this block, right, this is the insulated block. Never generally have trouble with it, but yeah, anyway. All right, here we go. Let's break open this laminate. Oh, super cool. All right. Let's keep going here. Very nice. Isn't that awesome? Lots of blending going there, which is really fun to see as a bait maker. I don't just love perfect laminates, and anytime you're laminating a sphere, you're probably going to get some fun color blending there. You know, a lot of people would, you know, criticize something like that as bleed over, but bleed over can be really fun when you're talking about laminates. Yeah, just look at this color blending in there. I personally love that. Yeah. So I'm not complaining. And there's a small detail that I would like to try and point out. You can kind of see it. The legs have striations in them, right? Maybe it'll focus a smidge better if we zoom out. These things are hard to get your camera to focus on because there's so much three-dimensionality to the layers that it's trying to focus on. But yeah, you can see the legs have these little grooves in them, these striations, and you can actually see that in the mold. just like that. So yeah, a really nice little detail there. That the legs sort of have that texture on them. Real quick, bonus mold. We had some leftover laminate plastic there. Oh, they're gonna come out on that side. And figured we would run them in something, right? So we have the beautiful Vexus creature slash crawl there. Isn't that something? Nice, beautiful laminate. And not one that you see often. Really nice there. Alright, for demonstration purposes, we are going to add some of this hardener. Alright, so hardener you always add to cold plastic. Alright, it's sort of just like a thick, yeah, kind of looks like Elmer's glue. It's just a very thick, concentrated resin is essentially what it is. So you want to mix it in really thoroughly to uncooked plastic. Alright, and we're just going to run some straight black, I think. Yeah, people, this right here is crazy. You can see with that hardener, it is maintaining dang near perfect shape. I mean, look at that. So, yeah, if you fancy a cat toy that retains its perfect shape, yeah, definitely add a little bit of hardener to Red Label Hard. I mean, that right there is indestructible. You could knock somebody out with that. There it is. Now that is a prickly sea urchin. Those are so firm it could scratch your eye, poke your eye, right? So yeah, there it is. That is what hardener does with this. So yeah, you can see those legs are pretty much sticking straight out. Alright, so we have seen a couple different colors now in the mold and some laminates, some with hardener, some without hardener. So now it is time for tank test footage. But before we do that, I gotta show Josh Clark something. Y'all knew we weren't gonna go an entire video without showing you the recent snake madness. So here you go, buddy. Josh hates snakes, by the way. That's the joke. And he says that the better and better I get at this, the more he hates seeing it. So here we go. This one's really cool. This is only 2 colors. That entire pattern, 2 colors. Basically a light cream orange and then a dark burnt orange. That's it. This one over here is 5 layers. Lots of stuff going into that one to make that one work. And yeah, those are really, that's a very complex pour over there. But yeah, roll that beautiful snake footage. We are enjoying still being on the never-ending snake worm quest. Okay, here we go with a little tank test footage. Alright, so there's that first kind of June bug color. And we just have it on a very light jig head. You know, there again, there's a whole industry centered around how to rig these. Lots of opinions. We're just doing a small jig head just to show you what this thing looks like in the water. Alright, so that is the straight Red Label Hard. No hardener, no nothing, no softener. Looking very prickly. Has a nice slow fall to it. Oh yeah. And just for a very quick comparison, there is the regular or predecessor regular 4-inch Sweetgum. Right? You can see just the legs are a little bit thinner. So overall, a little bit more movement from those legs. And just being a little bit thinner allows them a little bit more movement. And there's more appendages. So the 4-inch Sweetgum has 28 appendages unless you put it in the 44 appendage configuration. But yeah, there it is, just sort of a compare and contrast. Oh yeah, now this is cool. Yep, there's that moon dust. And that's in the Sweetgum HD. Yeah. Isn't that awesome? Really cool. This is fun, by the way, sitting here just bobbing this up and down. All right, there's our laminate. Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, what do you guys think? Which color is your favorite? As usual, question of the day. Okay, last but not least, there is the Ultra Firm solid black one there with the hardener in it. So you can see that thing does not want to give up its shape at all. So, you know, I guess the argument becomes, is this more of a profile bait? Do you want one super firm that's just going to be solid profile? Or do you want one a little softer with more leg movement, you know? And what's great about being a custom bait maker and making your own is that you get to decide, right, how it's going to go. If you want it softer with more movement or firmer and hold more, you know, mass and profile in the water, you know, you are not limited to what you can buy in the store. Anything is possible when you make your own. All right, everybody, that's going to wrap this one up. We've been out here a while, and it is time to go inside and enjoy that air conditioning. Yeah, new cat toy mold. You can kind of see them all chilling there. That's the entire family. So, yeah, I would expect there's going to be a little bit of a run again on lead times for this thing. This is a fantastic take on it. You know, a lot of people really like that true to form, especially the taper of the leg. I think this one's going to be really popular again. You know, when AI first launched the Sweetgum, you know, I was a part of that launch with the video, of course, and of course, shout out to AI and Dead on Plastics for being long-term sponsors of the channel. We would not be here without their support, being able to do videos like this and bring you content like this. With that said, the Sweetgum really hit hard when they launched it back in May. So, you know, if there are wait times on a very popular mold, just keep in mind they work very hard. They even set up new machine shops, new assembly lines. They even leased a machine shop across town, you know, and we're cutting these things in under other people's roofs, and I don't even know the extent of that anymore. So mountains were moved in order to bring more Sweetgums, well, to catch up on Sweetgum orders. So there it is, the Sweetgum HD. It is here. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know down in the comments below if you think you'll be picking this mold up, and which color did you like best today. I thought all the colors we did looked pretty awesome. So let me know, and we will see you guys in the next video.